The definition of identity crisis from dictionary.com is a period of uncertainty and confusion in which a person's sense of identity becomes insecure, typically due to a change in their expected aims or role in society. That is very relevant. I'm often asked how I came up with the name Jackie is Alive, and it is because I was going through a massive identity crisis. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and I help people find happier, healthier lives to elevate and improve and enhance their lives through finding a balance between their mind, body, and soul. Today I'm going to talk about how an identity crisis led to Jackie is Alive. In episode 3 of my entrepreneur series, I talk about how I was working in Miami, driving Ferraris for work. At the end of that episode, I start to introduce about when I was traveling for work. Episode 4 of my entrepreneur series is all about the work I did for travel and how that shifted, obviously, during COVID when we couldn't travel anymore. I'm going to link both of these episodes below. I started not to resonate with the traveling work around 2018. I had put so many of my eggs in that basket. Despite my soul nudging me, despite my intuition nudging me, despite this feeling that I had that I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing this work anymore, I stayed in it because I really leaned on, this is my income, I'm making good money. Kept telling myself so many people would kill for this job. At the end of the day, the job was killing me and I should have left that job. I'm sorry to anyone who had a hard time during COVID. I'm sorry to anyone who lost anyone during COVID. But for me, COVID ended up being the greatest thing that could have happened to me because it forced me to sit down and to look at the life I was living and how I wasn't resonating with it. March of 2020, I had the entire year of travel. I had a 6-figure year planned. I had every contract in place from March of 2020 through January of 2021. And COVID happened and everything shut down. So now I can't work and I can't travel. And those were the two things that I did the most to distract myself. I had attached my identity to travel. My username on Instagram used to be The Blonde Nomad. And I had a travel blog. I did travel consulting, I did travel marketing. Everything that I did was either in my work or in travel. And now I can't do either of those things. To say that I was having an identity crisis would be a massive understatement. For the first 3 to 4 weeks of the lockdowns, I really tried to continue to force it. I tried to force my work. I'm trying to plan in a time where we can't plan. I'm trying to plan with countries that have restrictions against Americans traveling into their country. I'm trying to negotiate with everyone that I had contracts with. I'm trying to control my income. I'm trying to control my work. I'm trying to control things that were not controllable in that time. After about 3 or 4 weeks, I was just meeting so much resistance. I knew I just had this gut feeling. My intuition was just telling me, just give it up, just stop. Just stop and let whatever is meant for you come to you. Stop trying to control it. There was one day I woke up and I didn't know what to do with myself. I just didn't know. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to feel. I just felt like, okay, I have to meditate right now. I found a guided meditation on YouTube. I wish I still had it. I wish I knew which one it actually was. But in that meditation, I went deeper than I had ever gone in any other meditation before. I just knew I was being guided. The message that I received in that meditation was that I had always been safe. I had always been protected, despite me putting myself in very unsafe situations in the past, to trust more, to look at my past and look how I have come out of every horrible situation that I've ever been in better than before, and to trust that this situation, as horrible and scary as it may feel, is ultimately for my greater good. And that day I found my faith and I have not lost it since. I've had moments where I've really gone and spiraled. End of 2020 was a big shake up for me. We'll talk about that in another video. But I just had to surrender and to know that if I was supposed to be able to travel right now, I would be traveling right now. If I was supposed to be able to work right now, I would be working right now. From that day, I started taking that time as an opportunity instead of looking at myself as a victim. In that space where I was no longer worried and I trusted that I was safe, I opened myself to a new level of honesty, a new level of compassion, a new level of healing within myself. I had to ask myself a lot of hard questions. The first question that came up was, who am I without travel? I thought my purpose was to travel and to inspire other people to travel. I realized that it wasn't, and that was a passion of mine, but not my purpose. And I have another video, I'm going to link it in this description, called Passion versus Purpose, and how that mix-up that we have of these two very big words is kind of leading to a lot of confusion within us. I believe that we all have the same purpose when we're born as humans, and that is to find our happiest, most fulfilling lives, to create our best life. That will look different for everyone. Within that life that we create for ourselves will be a multitude of passions. Started coming to this belief system around then. Before then, I believed that my passion and my purpose were the same thing. Whatever we're passionate about is ultimately our purpose, and that I was living my purpose by traveling. I was not living my purpose by traveling. I was running away from my purpose. I was running away from finding myself through my passion of traveling, through my passion of working. I was a workaholic and I felt unfulfilled deep down, but instead I just further distracted myself with more work and more travel. When you're traveling or you're working, you don't have a lot of time to self-reflect. Realized also that I was limiting my identity into this one little piece of my life. There were so many other things. There are so many other things. Some of them that resonated with me then don't resonate with me now. I was very much involved in the politics of it all. I can't stand politics now. So that's another thing. When we attach our purpose to one of our passions, it limits us. I was limiting myself by attaching my purpose to anything other than just being alive. I started to ask myself, who did I want to be? What kind of life did I want to live? How did I want to feel? I knew I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. How can I change that? I knew I had to change my Instagram username. I know that sometimes people go through identity crises and they'll remove everything that they've ever posted. I didn't want to do that. I want to embrace the past versions of me, but I no longer resonated with this idea that my identity was attached to travel. What is something that can be expansive? What is something that can allow me to change? What is something that can grow with me? What is something that I can grow into? What is something that I can also grow out of while being here still? And that's how I came up with Jackie is Alive, because the essence of being alive is so expansive. The very definition of being alive is to grow. From the moment we have a heartbeat, we're growing. From the moment we take our first breath, we're growing, we're evolving, we're changing, we're forever changing. Jackie is Alive. It's so expansive, and it gives me room to grow. It gives me room to change my opinions, to change my beliefs, to change my passions, to put things down that I no longer resonate with. I had to put travel down, and I wasn't ready to. And then COVID happened. I was forced to put it down. Really loved the idea of Jackie is Alive because it allows me to evolve. It allows me to change my opinions. I had once been vegan. I'm not anymore. I had once been very overweight and unhealthy and I wasn't taking care of myself. I'm not that anymore. I had once been a very big bitch. Some people will still say I'm a bitch. I'm a very opinionated person, but I'm not anymore. That's not who I am anymore. I've changed. I've grown. I've evolved. I've been living. I've been alive. I've only been doing these videos for about 5.5 months now, and already some of the videos that I've published I don't even resonate with anymore because I changed my opinion so much. I get new information and I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong. Attaching my identity to being alive and only being alive has really given me such an opportunity to grow and expand. I don't think of myself now as a traveler or an entrepreneur. I think of myself as a human who's growing, changing, evolving. My interests change, my hobbies change, my passions change, what I eat changes. Everything changes when you allow it to. Allowing myself to identify solely as alive has given me the opportunity to be more alive, to chase the feeling of more aliveness, not through travel, drugs, sex, men, food, work, material items, all these things. I used to chase that feeling of being alive through things, and now I chase the feeling of being alive through growth, through evolution, through change. And the latter is much more fulfilling. I've never in my life had less as far as appearances wise, as a societal definition of what we have. I'm 35 years old. I'm living in my parents' house again. I was still in high school making more money than I am making now, but I've never in my life felt more fulfilled. And I really owe that to COVID, to listening to my intuition, through trusting what I was feeling and through leaning into what I was feeling. Summer of 2020, I went on a quest to find the hobbies, the activities, the everyday things that make me feel the most alive on the inside, not what looks the most alive when I post it on social media. Feeling that I had of unfulfillment wasn't because I needed to acquire more things or go on more vacations, buy a bigger home, nicer car. I needed to find more soul-filling activities, find a deeper connection to God, find a deeper connection to my family, to nature. The things that I found to make me feel most alive are things that almost anyone can do from anywhere. Putting a bouquet of flowers together, painting a small painting, or coloring in a coloring book, writing, reading, spending time in the sun. The things that make me feel the most alive are really just the little things. The little things are the big things. Again, my name is Jackie. I write articles and make videos to help people find happier, healthier, more fulfilling lives, to elevate, enhance, and improve their lives through finding a balance between their mind, body, and soul. You can find me on social media. I'm at Jackie is Alive on everything. I make new videos every Monday and Friday, so don't forget to click subscribe, and I will see you at the end of the week.